Late Night Shenanigans with your favorite two idiots. The most least talked about podcast around. Hi, haters. See this pretty face? You see that pretty face? We're still here.
Yo, monkeys, it's me. It's DDP. That's right, Diamond Dallas Page, the king of bada bing, the master of the diamond cutter, the three-time world champion, WWE Hall of Famer, and founder and CEO of DDP Yoga. And baby, it is time. It is time for the Towers of Powers, the men of the hour. I'm talking about my main men, the men with the plan. I'm talking about Whiskey Pro and the Brews, baby. And we're bringing you the best in beerskis and whiskeys from the greatest city in the world, Dallas, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, can you dig that, baby? These guys are going to make you boys feel the bang. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. So there's no really easy way to do this. Me and Bruce were talking after Friday Night Smackdown went off the air, and he was kind of keeping me in the loop. Forgive the sickness. I'm struggling and I'm fighting through this with the strep throat.
Shit. Did I get you sick virtually, man? My bad.
You know, yeah, you got me sick virtually. That you or the kids, one or the other. Carter's been fighting the crud, and Cassie May had she had the flu all week. So I was bound and determined.
That's what Evan did.
Get sick.
No.
So, but here we are. I'm fighting through the sickness. Unfortunately, I can't drink tonight because of medication. I got the antibiotics, but drinking the old Diet DP, little DP. Everybody loves
for you.
A little double DP never hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, oh man. And to all you people that say that Diet Coke is worse than regular Coke, shut up. I don't care. If powerlifters can drink it, bodybuilders can drink it. I don't care. And yes, I know bodybuilders are not the healthiest people in the world. They put steroids in there, but so are wrestlers. Who cares? I don't care. You shouldn't care. So that being said,
I used to. So obviously with the diabetes and everything, I kind of had to adjust and do a about face and do nothing but diet drinks, Diet Coke, and everything else. And for the longest time, I swore off ever drinking Pepsi. But doing Diet Pepsi actually has it doesn't have a certain chemical that Diet Coke does.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it actually tastes a little bit better. I know I'm probably going to get fucking lynched for saying that.
Especially in Texas.
Yeah, the Diet Pepsi actually tastes pretty good, pretty good.
I'm totally going to botch Pepsi, but sorry, Pepsi, I don't know how to spell you.
Pep C. But the Spanish C, There you go.
All right. So, yeah, man, it's funny because I feel like me and the missus have this talk all the time, and we have Diet Coke, we have Diet Dr. Pepper. Now, I am a Diet Dr. Pepper fiend. Like, if you put a Dr. Pepper in front of me at all, I'm gonna drink it. That's just how I am. I'm from Texas. I'm loud. I'm proud, and I don't care who knows it. Right. But there's something about Diet Coke that every once in a while, to me, it feels like it goes flat. So I switch over to Dr. Pepper, and then Dr. Pepper to me goes flat, and I switch back over to Diet Coke. But here in the last few months, man, I've been Diet Dr. Pepper. Now, I will say this. Diet Coke in a fountain drink, to me, tastes better than Diet Dr. Pepper in a fountain drink.
I'm not a big fan of Diet Coke. I would prefer like the variation. Either like a cherry, like the cherry Coke Zero, or the vanilla Coke Zero, or if I'm lucky, find the fucking cherry vanilla Coke Zero.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that. So Firehouse Subs, some Wendy's have it, there's you vaguely see these anymore, but I know Firehouse Subs used to have them, but they were always out of the lime, and it pissed me off. But you can get like Diet Coke with lime, Diet Coke with orange, Diet Coke with cherry, Diet Coke with lime. Oh, mwah, I love it. I'm a big lime person, so
I'll have to take your word for that.
I love Diet Coke lime. Oh my gosh, so good. But man, we got to jump into this. So
Yeah, let's do it.
Full disclosure, pardon me. I didn't watch all of SmackDown. I kind of fast forwarded through it because Bruce texted me and said, "Poor Cody." I was like, "Poor Cody? Why poor Cody?" So I was fast forwarding.
Cody.
I watched a little bit of the Bailey segment, just enough to see that she was right. Hashtag hugs. I watched a little bit just to see her basically Damage Control turning on her, and I'm gonna kind of pat myself on the back here, but man, I called the Rumble with Bailey winning. I told you they were setting up a storyline with Bailey versus Damage Control, and here we are walking into WrestleMania, and it's like it's unfolding under our very eyes. And you brought up a really
I'll give you credit, man. You saw this shit coming a couple months ago. And you were calling the turn, I want to say like back in September, maybe October.
Yeah. So and I'm really proud of myself for that. And again, I can't take all the credit because, as we all know, I listen to Busted Open consistently, and I really have paid attention and tried to get into the minds of wrestlers so I can understand not only the physicality of wrestling, the acting of wrestling, but just the psychological part of wrestling, how the writers think, how the wrestlers think. Because now with a wrestler at the helm, Triple H, basically in full control of creative, and you have The Rock, who is on with TKO, you have wrestlers from our era, the 90s, the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars era, taking over. And it is so awesome just to hear them talk on these podcasts about, well, I would have done it this way because of this, and this. And then you watch the next week and you're like, I can totally see where they're coming from that. And here's what I will do. I will break down a Raw or a SmackDown. And then, yes, I will listen to Busted Open, and I will go back and I will rewatch a lot of that so I can see what they're talking about, because sometimes it doesn't click with me right away. Sometimes it does. But the Bailey segment I thought was really good. Like I said, I kind of fast forwarded through a little bit of it, so I didn't catch all of it. But I'm telling you right now, Damage Control is I don't know if they're done, but obviously we know Bailey is done. And you brought up a good point right before we went live that it reminded you of something, and you went on Twitter and it was Batista all over again with Evolution.
With Evolution, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, almost like scene by scene, standing on the other side of the door, watching the other members of the faction talking trash about you, whatever else. And then they walk away, you pan out and you see them.
Right.
It was image for image.
And it's ironic to me because your typical normal fan, and that goes for me and Bruce as well, but a lot of your fans, and of course you've got I call them Monday quarterbacks, after you watch a Sunday game and your team does horrible, well, they did this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. You have your Monday quarterbacks and wrestling as well. And a lot of these fans, they've never taken a bump. They don't understand psychology behind it. And I'm guilty too. I'm just as guilty. Bruce is just as guilty. We all are. But they go on and on about they don't understand this, they don't understand that. It's like there's more to it than you realize.
But that's the thing. As a fan, we're not supposed to understand it. And I think that's what triggers us the most. Like, so much more than I do. I've always joked around, especially with the missus, I'm your little sidekick. I don't know nearly as much about wrestling as you do. I just watch it complete fan perspective. I don't watch hardly any podcasts about wrestling, as much as you do. I watch the shows, I watch the pay-per-view, and I'll have my opinion just like any other casual fan. I don't deep dive into it. So to keep that intrigued, I've always considered WWE it's our soap opera.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
our Grey's Anatomy.
It's our Grey's Anatomy. It's our Days of Our Lives. General Hospital. It is
Young and the
our
Restless.
soap
Come on
opera. We're not supposed to understand, and I think that's the beauty of it. Is we're allowed to look at it and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And we're never going to be answered because they know whatever they're doing, we're going to keep coming back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
right. Well, and I got off on a rant there. Sorry, my ADD brain is. Bruce, you know how I am. My mind's going faster than my mouth can keep up. Where I was going with all that is all these fans are coming out and saying, "Well, this didn't happen and that didn't happen." It didn't happen for a reason. And I'm losing my train of thought as I'm talking. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. But
well, what have you heard? Like, what do you mean this didn't happen or that didn't happen? Because I look at it as I don't care what did not happen. I focus on what they did do. Does that make sense? So what are some fans bitching about?
They're saying it's a lot of copy and paste. That's the point I was trying to get to. It's a lot of copy and paste. Well, they did this 10 years ago. They did this 20 years ago. And you know what? That's fine.
It works.
You know why? It works. And if you don't believe me, it works. Everybody, you have all these Monday night quarterbacks that are coming back, or Tuesday night quarterbacks, I guess it would be, about LA Knight. Oh, well, he's just ripping off The Rock and Stone Cold. How do you think 90% of these wrestlers came up with their gimmicks? The RKO, look, Randy Orton is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Do you know where the RKO came from? It's a modified diamond cutter from DDP.
No.
And the Attitude Era, you had The Rock and you had Stone Cold, arguably two of the biggest names in wrestling. Absolutely the two biggest names in WWE, WWF at the time, WWE now. You had literally the two biggest names in the company going back and forth. Great mic skills, great charisma. They were very charismatic. They hit it off with the fans. They had a lot of catchphrases. LA Knight saw that, took it to heart, and ran with it. And look where he is.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a flavor of the month. The hell, he's a flavor of the month. No, he's not. I tell you what, LA Knight and Logan Paul are here to stay as long as they want. Just like The Miz and just like Austin Theory. Yeah.
I will admit with LA Knight, it took a while for him to get traction, in my opinion. I liked him, but I didn't necessarily think he was main eventer. You know what I mean? It wasn't until it really wasn't until his push against Austin Theory and The Miz where I'm like, wow, this guy really has something.
Now, I will say this. The Miz destroyed LA Knight on the microphone. And I'm going to be honest. Looking at the talent roster that we have right now, as stacked as it is athletically, over with the fans, hated by fans because of whatever reason, because they're a heel, because of this or that. I don't think, aside from Paul Heyman, I don't think wrestling-wise, there's a lot of guys that can touch The Miz on the mic, which I've said many a times. I think Logan Paul could probably hold his own just because he comes from a different background and he's used to all the haters. So I think Logan Paul can maybe hold his own. But other than that, I don't really see a whole lot of people hanging with The Miz. So I don't hold that against LA Knight either.
Not in WWE.
How long has LA Knight been in the big spotlight?
Yeah.
So, but to get back to Friday Night Smackdown, man, I love this segment with Bayley. Like I said, I got to go back and I got to rewatch that entire segment because I did fast forward through it. And then the ending. Now, I watched this, and as I'm thinking about it now, and as I was thinking about it before we came on, Bruce said, "Poor Cody." That was the text message you sent me, was "Poor Cody." That's what made me want to watch. I was like, all right, what happened? And I kind of missed it, and I'm mad at myself because I've been better at picking up on these things. But he talked about going and talking to WWE Legends, he talked about talking about counsel. And I kind of thought he was going to go somewhere with that. And then it was gone. It was out of my head. And sure enough, here comes The Rock. You said that you felt like Cody was sad.
He was sad. So if you look back and you watch Friday Night SmackDown, Rock does his thing. He looks at the goosebumps on his arm. Fucking, all right, let's do this. And he walks his blueberry pecs down to the fucking ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets in the thing. God only knows why he has this fucking stare down with Cody Rhodes, and then slowly extends that hand out for a shake, right? And then
I absolutely hate this mouse.
They fucking hug it out. My issue with this is when you're watching this, Rock brings him in and he's whispering something in Cody's ear, and you see something switch. Watch that segment back, because Cody's like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, touch hands, bring it in, they hug it out. Rock whispers something, and Cody's face changes. You could tell he's immediately emotional about whatever it was The Rock said. And you can tell that emotion sticks with him as he backtracks, gets out of the ring, and is walking away. My feeling is he is pissed that he's having to give up this opportunity at WrestleMania to finally dethrone Reigns just for 10, 15 minutes for The Rock to come back. To me, that's selfish.
I don't necessarily think he said anything bad to Cody.
No, it wasn't bad, but it was something that definitely got him emotional. It's like, dude, either like, I'm sorry or thank you, whatever. But that was supposed to be Cody's spot.
I think what might have happened there, and this is just me thinking out loud, I don't know that. I'm trying to fast forward through it now. But I think what might have happened there was he probably said something along the lines of, your father would have been proud. And even and look, I've talked about this before, even in wrestling, there are real elements to this. And knowing how much Dusty was a fan, and knowing how much obviously Dusty meant to Cody, and how much Dusty meant to the entire WWE, right? I'm actually watching it right now. Rock's walking up the ring, but
that's the thing. Yeah, your father would have been proud. Give him the fucking spot. Give him the fucking spot. I asked you before we went live, why on earth would The Rock come back just to put over Roman Reigns? Because two outcomes. One, Reigns wins, but why would Rock come back? Roman does not need anyone putting him over. Period. I don't give a damn who it is. Undertaker, Stone Cold, Shawn, Triple H. It does not matter. On the flip side, if Reigns loses, why on earth would you give the fucking title to The Rock, who I don't even consider a part-timer? I really don't. He shows up every couple of years. That's not a part-timer. I'm sorry. I love The Rock. It makes no sense.
So I just finished watching that reaction. Cody smiles, and he's also sad. So that tells me right there, it has something to do with Dusty Rhodes. It's got to. Watch Monday Night Raw, watch next Friday Night SmackDown. I'm telling you, that has something to do with Dusty. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it was an unnecessary, maybe, I don't want to say passing of the torch. I feel like that gets thrown around too much, but I feel like that was Cody kind of presenting Roman on a silver platter to The Rock.
Okay, you're Mr. Wrestling. explain to little old me and anybody else that may be lurking or who will watch this later on why. I don't understand why I understand them doing something like The Rock versus Hogan. I understand something of The Rock and John Cena. The Rock and Roman Reigns, I do not get.
The Rock has said on multiple podcasts, number one, that they wanted to do it last year, and it just wasn't in the cards for whatever reason. Be it creative, Vince McMahon, Triple H. The Rock got butthurt last minute. There was an injury. Cody coming back. Look, the amount of reasons why not to do it are endless, just like the reasons to do it are endless. And what have you? Pick a reason. Okay, we don't know for sure, and we will probably never know, and that's fine. We did the fans didn't get Rock versus Roman last year. I liked a lot, and I'm trying to answer your question here, but I'm trying not to get off on a tangent. I really liked a lot when Seth came out Monday night and gave Cody the speech about this is a working man's title, because that's exactly what Seth has been. He has been a working man's champion. And so I think it would mean more to win that championship. However, let me ask you this, and I know neither one of us are Cowboys fans, but bear with me, okay? In the 90s, the Cowboys won Super Bowls back-to-back, correct? Was it 90,
yes.
94, 95, or 95, 96,
90,
something like
91, 92, then 94, 95, I believe.
Okay. And two of those Super Bowls that they won, they played the Bills both times, yes?
I know of one time. I genuinely don't know about the other.
Well, there were 2 years. Yeah. There were 2 years that the Cowboys played the Bills in the Super Bowl and beat the Bills twice. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna try to turn the tables on you a little bit. You're a Steelers fan, so let's say the Steelers go to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
The first time they lose. Second time they're back in the Super Bowl. Now, as a fan, your normal reaction is going to be, I don't care who they beat in the Super Bowl as long as they win, right?
Yeah.
How much better would it be to go back to the Super Bowl with the same team that beat you the year before and beat them in the Super Bowl?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Switch that over to wrestling now. Cody wanted Reigns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But what Seth said makes a lot of sense. This again, we're going to the psychology side of things. What Seth said, I'm the one here day in and day out, and Seth has. Look, get away from wrestling. We're talking real life here. Seth has helped carry this company and made it what it is. You don't believe that WWE is at the top of their game right now? Their numbers are higher than ever in ratings. By the way, little fun fact: I know they're going to Netflix soon, but they have been USA's #1 show since they've been on there.
I don't object with that, but hear me out on this. So when you watched tonight's show, did you just fast forward when Rock came out, or did you listen to what Roman Reigns said before Cody Rhodes even came out?
Yeah, and you know what? You know where I got out of that?
What?
He's a heel and he's getting heat. He's going to take all the cheap shots he can because he's desperate.
No. The fact that he pointed out about the title.
I remember him saying something about
the title that Rollins has is not the same title that Dusty was going for. That is the one that Roman holds. The one that Rollins has was the newly created one when they split.
Yeah, but that title has been split so many damn times. It's not even the original title, no matter which way you look at it. That title, because at one point it was Monday Night Raw and SmackDown had a title, and then they joined them, and Roman Reigns had both. And before then, they did the same thing like 5 years prior to that. that right there to me is idiotic. I don't buy that argument one bit. Even I don't care who says
Okay.
Roman Reigns, Triple H. I don't care.
So, okay, fine. I agree with the whole Seth Rollins is the workhorse. True. You know, Roman Reigns is the draw of the WWE. If you had asked me years ago about a potential Rock and Roman Reigns, dude, I would have been stoked. Absolutely. Just recently, within the last several months, every time Rock came out, I admit it, I was excited on the show. I was pumped. I'm like, yeah, The Rock is back. This is awesome. Looking back in hindsight and having it finally sink in, it makes no sense. Because he is not in the WWE.
He's on the roster.
No.
You can scream no all you want. He's on the roster. That's like Cowboy fans saying, "Well, Jerry Jones is a player. He still owns the team."
But okay, so this goes back to your your scenario of Steelers going back to the Super Bowl. Do you want to be on the same team? The Rock is on no team. He hasn't wrestled in years. The last time he was in the ring on a stage as like the WrestleMania, I believe, was when he brought out Ronda Rousey to bitch slap somebody.
I
think that was the Triple H Stephanie McMahon bit.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay, I'm looking at it from a different aspect. So we're going to start a new segment on this show, and we may do it every show. We may do it every couple of shows. I don't know. We're going to bring it in whenever we want to. Hashtag what if. So you were out sick this week with the show, so we didn't get to do it. I've been up and down with sick kids and sick myself. So
yeah, the fly was buzzing around, huh?
Dude, I swear I really need to start proofreading stuff. Oh my gosh.
I saw that post. I'm like, I just have to fucking
just poke the bear a little bit, just a little bit. So
just the tip.
Just the tip. We talked about the possibilities at WrestleMania, and this is really the reason why we wanted to come on tonight, was because we were going back and forth, and I was like, dude, if we're going to do this, let's just do it on the show. It took us 30 minutes to get to the point, but here we are.
Here we are.
WrestleMania 40. We know Rock, Roman. We knew it was going to happen eventually. Here it is. It's happening. So The Rock versus Roman Reigns is going to happen. I have a prediction. I think The Rock is going to win. Or The Rock is going to lose due to ear interference and then enter the Judgment Day. Damian Priest is going to swoop in, cash Money in the Bank, and there's your new champion. And here's why I say that. Let's go back to Mr. Wrestler here being Mr. Wrestler. I'm going to start using that term, by the way. Roman Reigns has, regardless of how often he's been on top, it's come to a head, right? The Rock, we know, is not going to be even a Roman Reigns champion at this time. He's not going to be every couple of months pop up at a pay-per-view, defend his title, and then go home. He's not going to do that. He's too old for that, and I just don't see The Rock having it in him. I could be totally wrong on that. Part of me kind of thinks I want to be wrong on that, because how cool would it be to have The Rock back, right? Even as a fan, I'd be okay with Rock having the title for like 2 pay-per-views. I'm okay with that.
I saw a podcast that he was on literally just in the last week. He is so fucking busy. He is not coming back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So The Rock loses or wins at WrestleMania. And again, enter Damian Priest, cashes in, wins Money in the Bank. Damian Priest is not going to hang on to that title for long. So if Damian Priest loses it, say, I don't know what the next pay-per-view after WrestleMania is. Money in the Bank
It should
or SummerSlam.
be Money. No, SummerSlam is August. It should be Money in the Bank.
Okay, maybe it's Money in the Bank. So Damian Priest loses at Money in the Bank. You've got AJ Styles, you've got Randy Orton, you've got who am I missing? LA Knight, Sami Zayn. Take your pick. KO, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Chad Gable. I'm looking at you. Otis, looking at you, buddy. You've got again a stacked roster. R-Truth. How awesome would it be to get even 2 weeks of R-Truth as a title holder? That would be amazing. You know, seriously, you have so much talent. You could swap that title back and forth for the next 2 years, hoping they stay healthy. And again, it goes back to Cody beats. I think Cody finishes his story this year. I'm going to go ahead. Here's a early WrestleMania prediction. Cody finishes his story at WrestleMania 40. I'm calling it right now, February 2nd, 2024. I am full on board with Cody Rhodes, and I think he finishes his story against Seth Rollins. But Roman Reigns, The Rock, WrestleMania, The Rock wins. Damian Priest comes in, cashes in Money in the Bank. Boom, there you go. That's how that goes. And the reason I say that is because if he loses, Judgment Day is going to have to defend their title, right? I think we're going to have a break between Judgment Day and the Roman Reigns Empire. I don't know what you want to call that. But I think you're going to see both fall. And if not at WrestleMania, that'll start to be the end. Look, they've done everything they can do with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. I think, honestly, at some point, maybe Roman Reigns and Solo end up having a fight. And as much as I don't like Solo on the mic, I think they need to keep a mic out of his hand. I think Solo in the ring could easily keep up with Roman. Easily. Mic skills. I want to see the Miz take on Solo and just mic skills alone, because I want to see that slapping. I really do.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Miz and Chad Gable. Chad Gable has some mic skills sometimes.
Thank you.
You know,
I kind of want an
I
Alpha Academy
disagree
t-shirt
with all your WrestleMania. And
Okay.
and the reason I say it like that is because you already know what my predictions are. I told you before we went on live. I'm just going to reiterate them.
Okay.
For Roman Reigns and The Rock, there is no way in hell they are going to take a title from someone who barely defends it and give it to someone else who will defend it even less. So I'm thinking for what? No, he's going to interfere, but not in that match. They've spent months building up, because Judgment Day is all Raw, Bloodline is all SmackDown, period. They've spent so many months building up Judgment Day versus Cody, Judgment Day versus Seth, Judgment Day versus RKO, and all of this. I see. To me, I don't even fucking care who wins, whether it's Seth or Cody. At the end of the night, Damian Priest is going to cash in. He will be the new champion. Now, however long he holds that title, who knows? But I think that'll give Seth his much needed time off to recoup. And I think that will continue the storyline between Judgment Day and Cody Rhodes, where now him and Damian Priest can kind of go at it. On the flip side, I think Reigns keeps his title. I think they've invested so much for so long for him breaking Hulk Hogan's title reign. They're not going to have him drop it to The Rock.
Okay, I'm not going to totally.
Which makes me think, why the hell is he then back?
If Cody, I'll say this: if Cody wins at WrestleMania, I think this is a very big possibility. I can't tell you the date. I can't tell you the exact time it was. His dad, I know, did end up winning the title. Or he had the title at one point, because there's a picture of Dusty Rhodes holding a title, right?
Yeah, but it was taken away because of a disqualification.
Okay. So if Cody wins, here's how I think it happens. Cody wins, boom, Priest comes in and immediately takes the title from him. But I see that as a very strong possibility. Okay. And again, we could talk possibilities all day. Look, I was talking before the Rumble when CM Punk got hurt. And I want to say this right now, and I want to address fans. I don't care how much you hate a wrestler, because look, trust me, I can't stand Roman Reigns. I cannot stand Judgment Day. I absolutely despise Dominic, Tom, and Nick, as R-Truth would say. I despise them. Okay, understand those words. But I would never in a million years wish any of those guys to get injured. These guys are legit people that put their bodies on the line, and that's not just a saying they use. It's the truth. They put their bodies on the line for their job every single day they get in that ring. You don't believe me? Ask Owen Hart. Just say it. But if you sit there and wish pain, or you sit there and wish for a wrestler to get hurt like CM Punk, you're a piece of trash. Fuck off. All right. That's out of my system. I don't want to say that. I was saying before the Rumble that one of my wishes was to have Punk win at the Rumble and him challenge Roman Reigns. Because think about it. What if, man, how sweet would it have been if Punk and Roman Reigns, and then you've got Paul Heyman in the middle? Paul Heyman's
That
going
would
to
have made a lot more sense. I would not be on this kick as I would not be as disappointed with the potential of WrestleMania Night 2.
And take I'm not going to get into it, but take all the Vince McMahon, Brock Lesnar allegations out of the equation. Okay, that boom never happened. It's not there. Brock Lesnar's here, CM Punk's here, Roman Reigns is here. How awesome would it have been?
You didn't hear
just
that,
from
did
a
you?
fan? No.
Oh, damn. Oh, loud clap of thunder.
Ooh, how awesome would it have been to have a triple threat match with Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns? The winner gets custody of Paul Heyman.
that would have been nice.
So
that would have been awesome.
Again, it's a what if scenario, and you know that's what wrestling is, right? It's the what if scenarios, and look, we can do this all night long. As far as Rock Roman, I'm with you as a fan. I really am. I'm with you. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because
if Rock was more active, I think I would have been a lot more on board with it, because it even made sense when it was The Rock and John Cena. John Cena kept calling him out. The Rock responded. Hogan was still active when they pit him in The Rock.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Roman was not calling out The Rock. There's no reason to bring him back after all these years.
The Rock was calling out Roman, though.
No, he wasn't.
Where should I eat?
Huh?
Where
that
should
was
I eat?
One time.
I know that, but it's The Rock. He's got that kind of pull. He's got that street cred. I'm sorry. It's The Rock. He's a Hall of Famer. What can you say?
I genuinely think they brought him back almost
to lose?
A distraction. No, not to lose, but it was a distraction. I think they saw what was coming with Vince McMahon, because it's already been out there since 2022. We just got more details recently. I think they needed some kind of distraction, and now's the perfect time. Bring in the new guy on the board of TKO, who now owns WWE. Kind of put the rest of that shit on the back burner. Focus here. Look here. Here's The Rock. Hey,
Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. Well, like I said, there's a million different what ifs, and I love this part of wrestling because it makes it so great. Fun fact: I've been wanting to say this for weeks, but I always forget when the show starts. Do you know who's? Just take a guess. Do you know who is leading merch sales right now and has been for the last 2 months in
Our
WWE?
truth.
Yep. Oh gosh, I'm so proud of that. I really am.
You know what? You'll be really proud of this too. I watched my very first episode of Busted Open earlier,
Did you really?
and they had our truth.
Yep.
I
Oh
didn't know
God, he
Mark
was great,
Henry
man.
was on there.
Yeah, Mark Henry. So they kind of switch it up a little bit. It's not always the same people, but Mark Henry's on there. Tommy Dreamer's on there. Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, whatever you want to call him. Dave LaGreca, who is the mastermind behind Busted Open. He's a podcaster, and I'm sure he's done other work. I just don't know about it. But look, Dave LaGreca
I don't know
truly
who the
is.
third guy is. Maybe it was Dave LaGreca. I was just watching it. It was like a 20-40 minute interview with our truth.
Yes,
It
that was
was
Dave
Mark
LaGreca.
Henry,
Yep.
Mark Henry, Bubba, and then so that was LaGreca.
Yeah, that was LaGreca.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were giving him shit because he was doing the interview without a shirt.
Yep.
Yep. All right, that was it.
I love that episode. So, but no, I had to throw that out there. I truly, honestly believe that R-Truth deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And if you don't believe me, to put this into perspective, The Undertaker and R-Truth are close in age. Let that sink in. R-Truth
Dude, I said the
is
same
still
thing
out
on
there
Facebook.
moving around like he's.
I posted on. I saw
he's
the thing
doing
on our truth. I said he needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
He deserves it, and man, I hope he gets it. And I know people say, "Oh, well, the Hall of Fame doesn't." Look, the Hall of Fame means something to these wrestlers, and that's all that matters. I think when the time comes, Chris Jericho belongs in the Hall of Fame for what he's done. I think Al Snow, and I even think Goldust belongs in the Hall of Fame.
I think
Plain and simple.
The WWE Hall of Fame does not carry much weight. I think it's I think it's the equivalent of a company recognizing their own. I truly think it's about damn time that the professional wrestling community as a whole they established their own Hall of Fame outside of the hands of the WWE. And you incorporate the greatest from WCW, the greatest from WWF, AEW when that time comes,
I hear you.
TNA when that time comes. If you look, WWE is the only organization that has their own Hall of Fame, but it's secluded to only their group.
Yep. I don't
So
disagree.
it's essence. It's a company recognizing their own. The community as a whole needs their own, like, untainted Hall of Fame. I think that will mean a lot more to the talent than the. I mean, there was an interview not too long ago from Honky Tonk Man. He's like, I don't fucking give a damn. He
Yeah, I
doesn't
remember
want to
that.
go to the Hall of Fame.
I
Why?
remember that.
I guarantee you he would accept it if it had nothing to do with WWE. I really think he would be among the first class going into whether you call it International Hall of Fame or something.
World Hall of Fame, yeah.
World Hall of Fame. Bring him in.
I don't know about first class,
It's
but I can definitely
time.
see him. I can see Honky Tonk Man in there for sure. I have one last question. I know you got to
Okay.
get going.
Yeah, what's up?
Rain is coming in bad.
Oh yeah, it's like hitting hard right now, dude. A thunder hit just a couple minutes, a couple seconds ago. The fucking walls shook.
Jeez. So we saw what happened at the Royal Rumble this week, right?
Yep.
Or not this week, but you know what I mean. We saw the Royal Rumble. We had a lot of surprises. We brought in people from TNA, which I thought was awesome. Getting
Jordan,
different.
oh my God, that
Dude.
woman's a beast.
Oh, she's strong.
I can't wait to see what. I cannot wait to see her potential, because is this like a one-off, or is she permanently TNA, but it was just like a one-off appearance?
That's what I'm getting to. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do this. Give me a second. I gotta let the
Yeah,
dog
yeah,
sit.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Come on, come on, come on. Inside. Go, 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 go.
Go, 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 go.
Shake all over me. Hit me wet.
Whiskey Winnie's wet. Only on OnlyFans, ladies and gentlemen.
Tucker had to just get that one last shake right before he went to his kennel. So
That's
all right.
all of us.
So got him. We saw the TNA crossover, right? And we saw the NXT stuff.
Yep.
What would you be more prompt to see? Would you rather see WWE bring back guys like Kevin Nash? You know, I don't want to say old timers, but like legends, okay? For Goldust, Kevin Nash, Al Snow. Would you rather see that, or would you rather see new talent from different organizations, different brands come in from Ring of Honor, TNA, Impact, AEW? I mean, how cool would it to have some AEW fans? Could you imagine Dean Ambrose coming back as John Moxley for a Rumble?
Dude, I've been telling you this for months, that it would be awesome if this person or that person made a surprise appearance in Royal Rumble. And you were always saying, no, it'll never happen. They were with another organization. I was convinced for the last several episodes MJF was going to make an appearance at Royal Rumble. I had my heart set on MJF coming to the Royal Rumble. And you were always saying, no, he's with AEW. That is not going to happen. But this past weekend gave us a snapshot of what the Royal Rumble could evolve into. You know,
Hello, viewer.
It's yo.
What's up? Yeah, they were the face-off did continue after SmackDown went off the air.
Oh, did
like
it? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't see them talking, but again, we're normally on Tuesday nights. We had an impromptu last-minute show. I kind of fast forward through a lot of it, but I did see the part with The Rock coming out and facing off with Roman Reigns, and it did continue when they went off the air. So not really sure what happened there, but welcome in,
Is
man.
there any video
or lady? I don't know, not yet, but I haven't really looked, so we'll see. But cheers to you. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for stopping in.
Absolutely. I don't know. I think the Royal Rumble, I think it definitely has potential.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Would you
bring in
rather-
more people from NXT? Bring in more people from TNA,
The video already
AEW. Bring in all these people. There's no need for them to scrape the barrel, bring back legends of the past. I'm sorry, Booker T. He almost looked like he threw out a hip when he did his fucking spiral thing last year.
So you're answering my question. You want to see them bring in different brands?
I want different brands. Absolutely.
And I don't blame you for that. And I think that's a really good idea. Like I said, Jordan Grace, right? Am I saying your name right? Yeah. So when she came in, they're 5 36-minute videos. Oh, wow.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Cool. I'll have to look into that.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's as much as I'm an Al Snow guy, as much as I'm a Goldust guy, as much as I'm a Kevin Nash guy, I would much rather see new talent that maybe we don't really get to see a whole lot of. We don't really pay attention to because we don't watch the other brands. I love Sting. I love Edge, Adam Copeland, whatever you want to call him. Orange Cassidy, what little I've seen of him, his stuff is great. It's goofy, gimmicks, but he's an athlete. I've seen what he can do. So I would much rather see this young talent. Now, don't get me wrong. If Al Snow popped up at a Royal Rumble, I'm still going to lose my shit and run around the house in my underwear. But that's beside the point. You know, I absolutely love it, and that's what Royal Rumble is it's number one, if not number two, favorite time of the year. I'm a Royal Rumble guy. I'm a Mania guy. I love SummerSlam. I used to be a huge Hell in a Cell guy, but to me, that's kind of lost its. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of gotten a little too tame, and I guess that's just the brand now, and that's fine. I still watch it. But still, there's so much to take away from this past Royal Rumble with all the different talent that they had. And like I said, I've said this for a while, and Triple H said it in his interview, his press conference interview. They're asking, well, what do you think of the roster right now? And he's like, ask me again in 5 years. He's like, I was in the Attitude Era, one of the best eras this company had, Monday Night Wars. And look back at what we did. Look what we created. People are still talking about it. So what are people going to be talking about in 5 to 6 years from now with this roster, with all the pops and all the different surprises? CM Punk, they never thought CM Punk would ever show up here, and he did. They never thought Cody Rhodes would come back to WWE, and he did. They never thought was it either right before COVID or right after COVID, they never thought Edge would return to wrestle, and he did at a Royal Rumble. Those are the things people are going to be talking about next 5 or 10 years. So great stuff, man. I know you got to get off here. I got to go eat. I'm starving.
Go eat
Pretty
those
sure my dogs.
fucking wings, man. I'm jealous. I'd have a salad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been doing great on this diet until the last 2 days. The last 2 days, I've kind of just like, I'll get there. But guys, thank you so much. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share. Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The least talked about podcast around. And you know what? Loving every minute of it and saying hi to all of our haters out there. Bye-bye. We love you. As always, I'm Whiskey.
I'm Bruce.
Peace.